love shipping container homes or you are planning to build a DIY container project, then this video is for you. In this video, we bring to you the ultimate guide on how to build a shipping container house step by step. This video is a ShelterMODE exclusive. It is a self-built project shared by one of our YouTube fans, Mr. Eloise, all the way from the amazing Caribbean island of Curacao. Welcome back. If you are building a container house or you have a container rental, you can have your project featured on our YouTube channel absolutely free. Get in touch by contacting us on our website sheltermode.com or email us on info@sheltermode.com. If you want to learn more on shipping container living, kindly subscribe. Without further ado, let's get started. The first step is to draw a floor plan. In this design, the house has an offset floor plan layout. The house is designed using two 40-foot shipping containers placed parallel to each other, set 2.4 meters apart and sheared horizontally to create an entrance porch. Salient features in this design include an entrance porch with a big front door opening into a big open-plan living space with a sitting room, a dining area, and an open kitchen. From the living area, there is a visitor's bathroom and a guest bedroom. The master bedroom ensuite occupies the rear part of the building. There is a big wraparound deck with a seamless connection to the entrance porch, the lounge area, and the master bedroom. You may need a CAD software to draw a floor plan of your dream house. Feel free to check out this compilation of free open source CAD software for drawing house plans using the link in the description below. The second step is to purchase a shipping container. The client of this project, Mr. Eloise purchased two 40-foot shipping containers for $2,650 each. Remember to thoroughly inspect the shipping containers before purchase. Purchase the container locally if possible to avoid high delivery costs. You are advised to do due diligence when purchasing a shipping container online, since most often than not, the selling price does not include the cost of delivery. Feel free to check out our previous presentation on the critical things you need to consider before purchasing a shipping container. The third step involves building the foundation and siting the containers. In this project, the containers sit on a concrete pier foundation. The foundation is elevated off a sloping ground at a convenient height to build a wraparound deck to maximize on the 360 views from the hilltop. Since the containers are set apart 2.4 meters, the midsection is built with retaining walls which were backfilled to form the subfloor between the containers. The retaining wall was plastered and waterproofed before backfilling. It is advisable to complete the foundation of your project before delivering the containers to avoid additional charges for delivery and hoisting the containers onto the foundation. The client hired a flatbed truck with a crane to deliver and also hoist the containers onto the foundation, which was convenient and cost-effective. The backfill between the two containers was well compacted and covered with a heavy gauge damp-proof membrane. Spread a BRC mesh or a steel rebar over the prepared surface, then pour concrete and cure the slab to gain the required strength. Feel free to check out our previous presentation to find out which is the most appropriate foundation to use for unstable grounds using the link in the description below. The fourth step is to modify the containers. Shipping containers are watertight steel boxes inherently designed for transporting cargo on ships. To transform a shipping container into a habitable space, the container walls are cut out to create fenestrations for windows and door openings to provide adequate daylighting and cross ventilation. Modification of containers by cutting out openings weakens the structural integrity. The structure is reinforced by welding additional steel around the openings to offset the removed steel metal. Remember to avoid over-modification to make the transformation process less expensive. Furthermore, the steel frame welded around all the openings increases the surface area for easy anchorage of door and window frames. Remember to apply silicone or metal filler to seal off any gaps around the welded frames to make the openings watertight. You are encouraged to check out our previous presentation on how to install doors and windows in a container house using the link in the description below. The open space at the rear of the building is closed off using concrete blocks to enlarge the master bedroom. The midsection between the containers is covered with an elevated lean-to roof above the containers, built using a timber framework and lined with blockboard ceiling. The openings on both sides of the elevated roof will have clerestory windows for natural lighting and passive ventilation through the stack effect. Repurposed shipping containers come with dents and dings, which makes them susceptible to rust and corrosion. To increase the lifespan of used containers, it is advisable to prime the rusty areas and rust-proof the exterior walls with anti-corrosive paint. The containers and the elevated midsection was covered with corrugated steel roofing to protect the containers from the elements, to keep the interior spaces cool, and to give aesthetic appeal and design flair to the inherently boxy structure. The front of the house was sealed off using timber siding, leaving a big opening for the main entrance door. The second last step when building a container house is framing and insulation. With the exterior of the house complete, it is time to move inside. The entire house was given a new floor finish. A concrete floor was cast on top of the container plywood floors before framing the interior. Shipping containers are made from coating steel, and therefore it is not possible to attach plasterboards directly onto the corrugated steel walls. Pre-treated 2x2 timber studs are used to frame out the container walls and install interior partitions to demarcate all the indoor spaces. Feel free to check out our previous presentation on how to frame inside a shipping container using the link in the description below. Once the wall framing is complete, the next step is to install the electrical and mechanical services. Install all the plumbing, electrical wiring, and air conditioning before putting insulation. You are advised to hire a qualified services engineer to execute each task professionally to make it easy to obtain an occupation certificate. Insulation and temperature control in a shipping container house is paramount. The container walls and ceiling were insulated using rock wool insulation, then lined with plasterboard throughout, ready for internal fittings and finishes. The project has sufficient openings for adequate ventilation to avoid condensation, which can cause corrosion or become a health hazard if not controlled. There are so many ways to insulate a container home. Feel free to check out our previous presentation to find out which is the best insulation to use for cold climates. Before commencing the interior fittings and finishes, the house is made completely watertight by installing door and window shutters. The house is fitted with energy-efficient glass windows and doors, including the clear-story windows. The biggest sensation in this house is the horizontal slit window in the kitchen. It is quite a stunner. The bifold windows slide wide open to fill the kitchen space with natural light, at the same time opening up the house to the panoramic 360 views of the mountains and the amazing sunsets in the evening. With the house completely watertight, the last step when building a container house is to put interior fittings and finishes. With prior DIY experience, most of these fittings can be installed. However, it is advisable to hire a professional to have them fitted. Alternatively, consider using flat packs for the cabinets of the kitchen and the wardrobes. Flat packs are cheaper and easy to install because they come with an instructions manual. In this project, the client made some custom furniture pieces for the house, including a wooden double bed for the master bedroom. The bathrooms are nicely finished with a fully tiled glass shower cubicle, efficient dual flush toilet, a big mirror, and custom vanity with lots of storage. For energy and water efficiency, you are encouraged to use star-rated appliances and fittings to improve the sustainability rating of your house. All indoor rooms are fitted with solid core flush doors, nicely varnished for a clean, shiny look. From inside, there is no feeling of confinement, synonymous with shipping container spaces. The color palette for the interior of the house is bright and white to make the space appear brighter and spacious. The floor finish is gorgeous and striking. The whole house is finished with a stained, polished concrete floor, which gives the house a sleek, modern look. The floor creates a nice effect when light falls on the floor from different directions. Compared with other floor finishes, polished concrete is elegant, less costly, easy to clean, and low maintenance. From outside, the grooves of the shipping containers are visible throughout to celebrate the industrial aesthetic of the house. The containers are painted off-white to make the container house stand out on the fountain top with 300 panoramic views of the surrounding landscape. To enhance outdoor living, a wraparound deck was constructed from the entrance all the way to the master bedroom. A well-compacted sub-base is covered with a heavy-gauge polythene damp-proof membrane sprayed with BRC mesh or steel rebar. Pour concrete and cure the slab to gain the required strength. The big glass door opens onto the wraparound deck, an amazing outdoor space to enjoy 360 degrees of the panoramic views of the pristine neighborhood elevated above the fountain top. Designed with accessibility in mind, the suspended concrete steps were abandoned for safety reasons. This final product is not only amazing, but a stunning guest house with amazing 360 views from the mountain top. If you want to know the cost of construction of this project, join us for part 2 of this video as we give you a complete walkthrough of the amazing interiors of this stunning container house.